Hola, buenos días, chicos y chicas y chiques. Espero que estén bien. Ya es jueves. Hoy es jueves. Solo un día más esta semana. Qué bueno, qué bueno. Well, um, I think it's kind of appropriate that we're talking about weather this time of year because what the heck is going on with the weather in Minnesota right now? Can't make up its mind. We get snow, then we get 80 degrees, and then we get freezing rain, and then we get 72 degrees. It's just like, are we in spring? ¿Estamos en primavera? O ya estamos en invierno? It's just very, very confusing. But it's good because it'll lend us perfectly to when we get into talking about our projects. So the first thing you had to do today was watch that ridiculous Scratch presentation project, which I shared with you that I had made. And that was like an example of kind of one really unique way that you could create a project for the weather that is going to tie in closely to then giving recommendations for different activities to do when the weather is a certain way, okay? And that's going to tie itself really closely to our Paquete Diario today too. I hope that Paquete Diario kind of provides a link to the two things that I'm talking about, right? Explaining the weather and then also talking about what you should do in the weather because of that. So let's take a look at our Paquete Diario. Oh, it's kind of a good one, okay? So let's see. Hoy. ¿Cuál es la fecha de hoy? Hoy es el 16 de abril. Holy chicken tenders, you guys. It's already the 16th of April. That's nuts. Okay. And then to make sure we actually read our instructions. It says paso uno, or step one. Fill in the blank with the most logical form of the verb. Remember, you will need to conjugate. Okay, so it kind of looks like what's going on here. And it might be good, again, like I always say, you're using this video as a resource, not just fast forwarding it to the point where I've given you answers and then on them and then filling it in. I actually noticed several of you doing that, so I'm not going to fill in all the answers this time. I'm just going to give you some of them, okay? So this first one is basically connecting two parts of the sentence. And the way that you can connect the two parts of the sentence, this cuando hace mal tiempo mis amigos y yo, we need to connect that part of the sentence to en el sótano de la casa. We need to connect those two. The way that we're going to connect it is by either using the expression jugar al tenis or jugar a los videojuegos. And it's going to be the one that's the most logical or the one that makes the most sense here. So let's see what we can make sense of in our sentence, okay? Cuando hace mal tiempo. Well, first of all, cuando hace mal tiempo, cuando means when, and mal tiempo is going to be the one that goes along with numero uno here. So mal tiempo is like a storm, or it's cold, or it's not good weather, okay? Cuando hace mal tiempo means when he makes bad weather, or when the weather is not good. So cuando hace mal tiempo, mis amigos y yo, blank, en el sótano de la casa. Yikes. When you're doing your paquete diario, folks, I always think it's helpful to have a couple of things handy, okay? We can make sense of most of the sentence, but maybe we got to this word and we're like, what's sótano? We know what casa means, but what's sótano? All right, so maybe it is handy to have your word reference right there, chilling, ready to help you out, okay? So that when you look up the word sótano, it can help you out. And of course, I know what it means, but for you guys, using word reference is a wonderful strategy to find out that it means basement, okay? So then, when you want to tell us what you'd rather do in the basement, what makes more sense? To play tennis or to play video games in the basement? Furthermore, when the weather's bad, are you usually out playing tennis? Probably not, okay? Hey, here you could really argue either way. What I'm more concerned with is, can you put it into the proper form of the verb, okay? So if you want to just get going and you're like, okay, I'm just going to get right after it. Jugar a los video juegos. Oh, I love playing video games. It's so fun, okay? But have we done what we need to here? Absolutely not. Can you say mis amigos y yo jugar? That means my friends and I to play. We don't want to say my friends and I to play. We want to say my friends and I play, which means we need to conjugate our verb. Okay. So if you think of our endings for our verb, we've got o, as, a, amos, an. We're going to say mis amigos y yo jugamos a los videojuegos en el sótano de la casa. Beautiful. Okay. Now, you're doing the same kind of thing for all of these, using the words in the parentheses, picking the one that makes the most sense. All right. And again, handy dandy tabs to have open for you would be maybe this note sheet, which has a reminder of those weather expressions that we have been practicing. Maybe you have open your Quizlet, and in your Quizlet, you find the one that is the que tiempo hace, or the weather expressions. Okay, so you can kind of remind yourself of what those things mean as they show up on the screen there. And maybe additionally, you have open, like we said, your word reference. So if again, when you get to your next sentence and you say, cuando hace mucho sol, okay, I know sol means, yeah, sol means like a sun. Okay, so when there's a lot of sun, or so when it's sunny, okay. Y hace calor, oh, okay, when it's sunny and hot, okay, vosotros blank. What are you gonna do when it's hot? Ir a la playa or ir al cine? Porque es relajante. Oh gosh, I don't know what porque es relajante means. I know what porque means, but I don't know what relajante means. So wait, what does that mean? Relajante. Oh, relaxing or calming. Okay, so what are you going to do when it's hot to calm down? Hey, that's beautiful. If you want to say ir a la playa, you're on the right track. But do not put ir a la playa in the blank, all right? Here it's a little bit tricky because, and I noticed that this was one that was getting you guys tripped up a little bit. Okay, can you conjugate ir the regular way? Can you just take off the ir and then put in your appropriate ending? No, because if you're putting it in the vosotros form and it's an ir verb, then you would just do is. Can you say vosotros is a la playa? Nope, you cannot. Which is why I need you to think, and come up with what actually goes in the blank there. Okay. For the next one, you'll be using the verbs either esquiar and nadar, and then you're using pasear en el parque or ir a la piscina. Now, paso dos says to pick one sentence from up above and translate it to English. Remember, if the verb is not conjugated into the present tense of the verb, go back and do it over again. So if you come up here and you notice that you have something like jugar or ir or esquiar instead of those verbs in their conjugated form, go back and do step one again. You are driving me nuts at this point, right? Because I'm leaving the same comments over and over again. But then it says what you need to do is translate one of those sentences into English. So I'll help you with the one that I used up here, but I want all of you guys to use different ones if possible. Okay. So what you're going to end up with then is a sentence that looks like this. Cuando meant when the weather, oopsies, when the weather, is, what was it? No, when the weather is bad. Okay. When the weather is bad, mis amigos y yo, so my friends, my friends and I, what do? We play video games in the basement. Beautiful. Okay. So that's what we end up with for that first sentence there. All right. And then for the next one, it says step 3 is to do a little bit of writing. Okay. And this is where it's going to engage your strategies a little bit. Now, we want you to write about 3 things, 3 sentences. Okay. About what you do when the weather is nice, and 2 things you do when the weather is bad. Okay. So you're using the yo form of the verb, and you're not saying what you like to do. Instead, you're just using the yo form of regular verbs. All right. So, and then again, I want you to remember to incorporate some of those complexity words, like we're making our goals in Spanish 1A to make sure that we're starting to include words like perro, porque, cuando, en, cuando, también, y con. Doesn't mean that you have to use all of them, but just make sure that you're being creative in your sentences. All right. And your sentence should include both the weather expressions you're talking about as well as the conjugated verbs for the various activities you do. Okay, so a good sentence starter might be cuando hace buen tiempo. Beautiful. Maybe you want to use that as your sentence starter. You want to say something like cuando hace buen tiempo, yo voy a la playa. I go to the beach. Okay, but then let's add in some complexity words. Maybe you want to say I go to the beach with someone. So you can say yo voy a la playa con Justin Timberlake. I don't know why. Okay. Or maybe you can say, yo juego, remember that's a stem changer, al softball con mi amiga Sammy. Okay. Whatever it is that you do. Okay. That's what you can put there. But notice you don't have to use the expression cuando hace buen tiempo. What's another thing, or another way to describe the weather positively? Oh, sunny. Okay. So if you want to say when it's sunny, maybe cuando hace sol, yo nado en en el lago. Yeah, I go for a swim in the lake. Okay, fun. Now here's what I'm noticing, folks. When you actually are forced to go and make sentences, we're getting really weird things like this. We're getting things like this. Yo soy nadando en el lago. is a literal translation for I am swimming in the beach, but it is, or sorry, in the lake, but it is not the way that we're looking to do it here, folks. This right here, this highlighted sentence is an example of what you get when you trust Google Translate incorrectly. It is okay to use translators, but let's go back to our basics and realize that when we want to say I swim, we're just going to take our verb nadar and we're going to drop off our AR ending, and then we're going to add the appropriate ending to go with the yo form of the verb, which is just o, as, a, amos, nado. Now, sometimes you want to say that you go swimming with someone. So you say, yo nado con mi amigo. But what if instead you use mi amigo y yo as the subject of your sentence? Now, can you use the yo form of the verb with that? Absolutely not. Now let's say you want to go swimming. Okay, so you'll take off your AR, but now what form do we need? Mi amigo y yo is kind of like saying nosotros, right? So if we need the nosotros form of the verb here, we're going to say o, as, a, amos. Nadamos en la piscina. Let's actually say that you go to the pool, okay, instead. Okay, beautiful. Now, please, please, please take some time to make sentences that are unique and creative, because I'm ultimately looking for them to be this to be an opportunity for you to dig in a little bit, okay? Same thing with when you get to the negative ones. Maybe you can think about some things that you do when the weather is bad, right? Cuando hay una tormenta. What do you do when there's a storm? Or cuando llueve. What do you do when it's rainy? Okay. Remember, your sentences are able to flow and have their own form. So take them with whatever you can. All right. And just let this be an opportunity to kind of have a dialogue with me and have a chance to say, yo, what am I doing well? What can I still work on? And really make this something positive, because you're when you're working on your projects now for a whole week, and your projects are going to require this type of thinking, this type of complexity in your sentences. Okay. Because not only will you be describing the weather, but then you're going to be giving recommendations for what we should do based on the weather.